is not just possible, it's already happening. So don't let anyone tell you you're broken beyond repair. Child, you're a living testimony. Take one more slow breath with me. Inhale strength. Exhale peace. Now hold this truth. Healing is not a race. It's a rhythm. It moves through time, through generations, through you. And just as you carry wisdom from those before you, you will pass healing to those who come after. That's generational healing, not perfect, but faithful, not instant, but lasting. And as this hour closes, you are not left alone. At 8 p.m., Jasmine Reed will meet you. She's younger, with the calm strength of Gen Z, but don't let her age fool you. She carries resilience in her bones. Where I have rooted you in heritage and wisdom, she will guide you through the practice of daily resilience, the small choices, the everyday tools that help you keep standing strong. So breathe once more. Inhale the blessing of those who came before. Exhale readiness for what comes next. And step forward from the roots of the past into the resilience of tomorrow. Now listen here, child. Before you were born, before your struggles had a name, there were those who came before you, folk who walked heavy roads, who carried burdens larger than their own hearts, yet kept on walking. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't always have the freedom, but they had wisdom, hard-earned, scarred into their bones, carried in their stories. And that wisdom, it didn't die with them. It echoes in you. Every time you feel tired, but keep standing, that's them. Every time you want to quit, but whisper just one more step, that's them too. You are not the first to face hardship, and you will not be the last, but you are not alone in it. You are carrying an inheritance, not of money, not of property, but of strength. The strength of survival, the strength of love, the strength of endurance that has kept whole lineages alive. And when you feel you got nothing left, you can lean on that. Where I come from, we didn't always have therapists or safe spaces or language for trauma. What we had were stories, told on porches at dusk, sung in hymns at church, woven into the laughter at family tables. Those stories carried more than history. They carried medicine. They taught us how to bend, but not break. They reminded us who we were, even when the world tried to tell us otherwise. And those same stories are waiting for you too. Maybe you've forgotten them. Maybe no one told them out loud, but they live in your blood. They live in the way you rise each morning, in the way you keep searching for better, in the way you refuse to let pain be the end of your story. So hear me now. You got wisdom in you, older than your wounds. And if you pause long enough, quiet enough, brave enough, you'll hear it speaking, guiding you, holding you, reminding you that you come from people who knew how to survive storms. And if they could carry theirs, you can carry yours too. Now let me tell you something, child. The world will try to convince you that healing is a private thing, that you gotta fix yourself quietly in some corner, all by your lonesome. But that's not the way it's ever been. Back in the day, we healed in circles. When sorrow hit one person, the whole community showed up. They brought food, they brought songs, they brought prayer, not because they had the cure, but because presence itself was medicine. You weren't left to cry alone. You weren't left to carry the weight alone. That circle reminded you, your pain may be yours to feel, but it is not yours to bear by yourself. So let me ask you, who's in your circle today? Not everybody deserves a seat, but somebody does. Maybe it's a friend who listens without judgment. Maybe it's a mentor who sees the best in you. Maybe it's a faith community or a support group or even one steady person who reminds you you're not alone. And if you can't think of anyone right now, don't let that discourage you. Sometimes the first step is choosing to open the door for new people to enter. Healing doesn't happen in silence and secrecy. It happens when we let ourselves be witnessed, be held, be reminded. Because pain isolates, but healing calls us back into connection. So don't try to be a hero all by yourself. Reach for your circle. Even if it's small, even if it's just beginning, let it hold you. Because circles are how we survive, and circles are how we heal. Now let me tell you something, child. Words got weight. They can build you up, or they can break you down. Some of you still carry echoes of words spoken long ago. You ain't worth nothing. You'll never measure up. You too much. And ain't it something how those words linger longer than the moments they were said? But hear me now, just as words can wound, they can also heal. A blessing spoken out loud plants seeds in the soul, seeds of hope, seeds of strength, seeds that grow even in hard soil. The old folk knew this. That's why they prayed over us. That's why they laid hands, spoke life, declared protection. They understood. A spoken blessing can follow you long after the moment passes. Now, some of y'all never heard those blessings. Or maybe you heard more curses than care. But let me tell you, you got the power to speak blessings over yourself today. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what was missed before. The tongue still holds power. Try this with me. Place your hand over your chest. Take a slow breath and say softly, I am worthy of love. Breathe again. Whisper, I will not abandon myself. One more time. Let it roll off your tongue. My life carries purpose. You feel that shift? Even a little. That's the blessing taking root. And don't just say it once. Say it daily. Say it when you wake. Say it when you're weary. Say it until your spirit believes it. Because every blessing you speak is medicine undoing the poison all of words once spoken against you. The power to curse or bless is in the mouth. Choose blessing. Choose life. Choose healing words that carry you forward. Now let me tell you something, child. Long before we had therapists, long before books lined the shelves, with words like trauma and recovery, we had songs. Songs we sang in fields, songs we sang in church, songs hummed soft at night when the tears wouldn't stop. Those songs weren't just music, they were survival. Every note said, we still here. Every chorus reminded us, no chain lasts forever. Even now, when you hum a hymn or play that old record your grandma loved, you're not just passing time. You're tapping into medicine, because music don't just reach the ears. It reaches the soul. It reminds the body how to breathe again when life tries to choke you. And stories, oh, stories kept us alive too. We told 'em around kitchen tables, on porches at sundown, even whispered 'em to children so they'd remember who they are. Stories carried history when history books left us out. Stories carried identity when the world tried to strip it away. And most of all, stories carried healing. Because when you hear someone else say, "I've been through it too," your own pain feels less lonely. When you tell your story out loud, you take back power from the silence that once held you down. So don't underestimate these old ways, the songs, the stories, the rhythms that live in your blood. They are medicine. They are anchors. They are proof that your people made it through storms, and so will you. And if ever you forget, just sing a little louder. Just tell the story again. Just let the words and melodies stitch you back together, because healing don't always come in clinics. Sometimes it comes in a song. Sometimes it comes in a story. Sometimes it comes in remembering you were never walking this road alone. Now let me tell you something, child. This world'll try to shame you for resting. It'll tell you to grind harder, push longer, prove yourself by exhaustion. But rest ain't weakness. Rest is wisdom. Our people knew this. When the fields were heavy and the nights were long, they still found a way to sit, to breathe, to sing a lullaby before the next day came. Because they understood, if you don't rest, you don't rise. And you, child, need to know the same. Your body ain't a machine. Your soul ain't a factory. You weren't made to run non-stop. Rest is not time wasted. Rest is time restored. So let's practice this together. Close your eyes if you can. Let your shoulders drop. Take a slow inhale, like you're filling up with peace. Exhale soft, like you're laying down every burden. Now whisper to yourself, it's all right to rest. Again, slow inhale, exhale, and whisper, my worth is not measured by my hustle. One more time. Inhale deeply, exhale fully. Whisper, rest is my right. Let those words settle into your bones. Because the truth is, rest is resistance. It pushes back against every lie that says you gotta burn yourself out to be valuable. Rest is survival. Rest is sacred. And when you honor it, You're not just healing yourself. You're carrying forward the wisdom of those who rested when the world said they couldn't. So tonight, tomorrow, whenever the weight gets heavy, remember, lay it down, breathe it out, rest, child. It ain't weakness, it's the wisdom that keeps you whole. Now let me tell you something, child. Sorrow ain't just an intruder. It's a companion that walks with us through seasons of life. You lose someone you love. You lose a dream, a friendship, a version of yourself. And sorrow shows up, setting itself at your table. Most folks try to push it away, pretend it ain't there, hide the tears, smile when they're breaking inside. But sorrow don't disappear just 'cause you ignore it. Truth is, when you invite sorrow to sit, to speak, to be heard, it becomes a teacher. It teaches you what mattered most. It teaches you how deeply you loved. It teaches you where healing still needs to come. Sorrow is heavy, yeah, but it carries lessons that joy alone could never teach. So, here's what I want you to try. When grief rises, instead of shutting it down, welcome it gentle. Say softly to yourself, I see you, I hear you, you can speak. Then listen, not just with your mind, but with your heart. What does the sorrow point to? The love you had? The safety you lost? The dream still waiting? Let grief tell its story, and when it finishes, thank it. Because grief, though it hurts, is proof you lived, you cared, you dared to connect. And when you let it move through you, instead of getting stuck inside, it shapes wisdom. It softens your heart toward others who are hurting. It deepens your roots. So don't curse sorrow. Don't treat it as enemy. Let it be a teacher you learn from, then release when its lesson is done. Child, remember this. Joy will come again, but the wisdom of sorrow, that will stay with you forever. Now let me tell you something, child. Patience ain't just sitting around with your arms crossed, watching the clock. No, patience is active. It's a posture of trust. It's waiting without wasting. See, the world will tell you everything gotta happen fast. Fast money, fast healing, fast love. But anything that lasts takes time. You don't rush a seed in the soil. You don't rush a wound closing over. You don't rush the heart learning to trust again. Patience says, it may not happen today, but I believe it will come. And that belief itself is a form of strength. So here's how you can practice it. When you feel restless, like nothing's changing, pause, take a breath, and remind yourself, I am still growing, even if I can't see it yet. Patience don't mean sitting still forever. It means moving steady, one step at a time, without demanding the finish line too soon. It's like a river carving stone. It don't happen in a day, but keep watching, and you'll see the change. So when your heart aches for quick answers, when your healing feels slow, whisper this blessing: I give myself the gift of patience. Because patience is a gift, it takes the pressure off today. It honors the process. It lets healing move at the speed it needs to. And child, when you learn patience, you stop seeing delays as punishment. You start seeing them as preparation. So don't curse the wait. Embrace it. Trust it. Let patience be the soil your healing grows in. Now let me tell you something, child. Forgiveness don't mean forgetting. It don't mean saying, it was all right, when it surely wasn't. It don't mean you gotta let folks back in who broke your trust or sit at tables that once poisoned your spirit. No, forgiveness is not about erasing the past. It's about releasing its grip on your present. Because anger, when it lingers too long, turns to poison. It hardens the heart, clenches the jaw, steals the joy out of today. And forgiveness, that's the antidote. Not for their sake, but for yours. So here's how you begin. Picture the wound that still lingers, the betrayal, the harsh words, the moment that left you scarred. Feel the weight of it in your chest. Now take a slow inhale. As you exhale, say softly, I release what does not serve me. You may not feel free at once. You may need to repeat it day after day. But each time, the grip loosens. Forgiveness don't erase memory. It erases bondage. It takes the chain off your spirit so you can walk lighter. Child, hear me. Forgiveness is strength. It's not weakness to let go. It's wisdom. Because holding on to bitterness keeps you bound to the one who hurt you. But forgiveness cuts the rope. You don't forgive to make them comfortable. You forgive to make yourself free. So take another breath now. Exhale slow and whisper it again. I release. I forgive. I choose freedom. That's strength. That's healing. That's the power of forgiveness. Now let me tell you something, child. Gratitude ain't about pretending life is perfect. It ain't about ignoring the pain or dressing up wounds with cheap smiles. No, gratitude is about noticing what still shines even in the dark. It's about finding blessing in the small, steady things, a kind word, a warm meal, a quiet moment of peace when the world finally hushes. Gratitude don't erase sorrow, but it softens it. It shifts the gaze from what was lost to what remains. And that shift, small as it may seem, is powerful. It opens space in the heart for healing to take root. So, here's a practice for you. Each night before you rest, speak 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be grand. They can be as simple as, I made it through today. I heard a song that soothed me. I felt the sun on my face. Say them out loud if you can. Whisper them if you must. But let your ears hear your own voice, naming the good. At first it may feel small, almost silly. But over time, gratitude changes the lens. You start to notice blessings in the ordinary, strength in the struggle, hope in the quiet corners of life. Gratitude is not denial, it is defiance. It says, pain may visit me, but it will not blind me to what is still good. So tonight, child, count your blessings, not to dismiss your hurt, but to remind yourself that even in the storm, you are still surrounded by grace. And grace, when noticed, heals. Now listen here, child. We done walked through sorrow, through patience, through forgiveness, through gratitude. And I need you to hear this clear. You carry more than pain. You carry strength from every ancestor who refused to quit. You carry wisdom from every story passed down in whispers. You carry blessings from every prayer spoken over you, even the ones you ain't hear with your own ears. The world may try to define you by your scars, but those scars, they're proof